Now I know there's a lot of things being talked about in the boxing world about Lamont Roach, Gary Russell Jr. He's now being talked about a lot more after his recent performance he had. But I've been saying since last year that Gary Russell, I don't know why people thought that he was, because people bring up the activity, like everybody in boxing don't have activity issues, but he's Lomachenko's best win to this date. The win that got Lomachenko on pound for pound. So most boxers in boxing, they should be looking at Gary Russell Jr. the same way they look at Lamont Roach, uh, these other guys, because he actually brought value to Lomachenko's resume. And that was one of the main reasons why people actually wanted to fight him in the first place, because the win he got over Gary Russell, he lost his second career fight. So if you get a win over Gary Russell and that brings you back to where people forget that you even lost, that's a huge win. So I've always been suspect about people not really trying to jump in the ring with Gary Russell Jr. Always. I even said last year and this year as well that Lomachenko should have rematched him. Instead of sitting out all that time and everything else, he should have rematched Gary Russell. But right now, a lot of people said that Lamont Roach should fight Gary Russell. I mean, that would be a good fight. But also, Gary Russell was talked about he called out Pitbull, Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, Haney. That was years ago. Tried to make a fight with Haney. I don't know that situation, just the back and forth and everything. But uh, as far as with Roach, it's not really a fight that people look at that's been on the table for a while. It's something that just came out of left field. Like, we're in the middle of Tank trying to get a rematch, and people are like, "No, Gary Russell." It seems like when people bring up, "Hey, I know you got a rematch with Tank that's possibly supposed to happen, but let's fight Gary Russell," it sounds like people don't value Tank like that. Like, who says, "Hey, I don't want to see you fight Tank"? Who doesn't want to see Tank Davis fight again? As a fan of Tank Davis, you don't have another option for him to fight. But you'll say, "Hey, I don't want to see him rematch Roach. I want to see him get in a ring with Gary Russell." It's a lot of guys that can get in a ring with Gary Russell. So for Roach to be currently the only option I've been hearing, it's very odd. He's still a 130 champion. That could have already had that option before. That wasn't really talked about at the time. Gary Russell had already said he would like to fight all the guys at 30 or 35 at one point. He was saying that. So it's kind of behind schedule as far as the people leaning towards that. But with Shakur Stevenson, why he ain't fighting Gary Russell? Why he ain't fighting Lamont Roach? Why is people not talking about him fighting Gary Russell and Lamont Roach? Why would he? Those are the best two fights for him right now. I can't find two other better names than that. The Gary Russell and Lamont Roach right now. That's available, especially at 135. Can anybody else? And those two guys are available right now. And Lamont Roach, he'll take a decent offer that you give him. They know what guys are looking for. He'll take the offer, especially if it was more than the last fight. And he's a name. And that will put Shakur #1 in the division. Man, he better make this move, man. And this dude, if he wants to be elite fraud Tank Davis immediately, he'll take the Lamont Roach fight and Gary Russell. If I was him, I'd fight Gary Russell and Lamont Roach early next year. Or try to set up that fight with Lamont Roach because he in the gym now. I try to set that up now. And then probably Gary Russell in a few months. That'll put pressure on the whole boxing world. I don't know why that's not talked about, but that's, in my eyes, that's what I'm looking towards. Anything outside, I heard people saying Teofimo Lopez. Man, Teofimo Lopez can fight the other Gary Russell. It's Gary Russell's all over the place. He can fight the other Gary Russell that's in his division. He ain't got to fight no Shakur Stevenson. He can fight Gary Russell, who got a belt in his division. So yeah, Shakur Stevenson, this is the fight I want to see with him. Anything outside of that, it's already been talked about. So it's not realistic. These are realistic. But that's all I got.